Okay. Parties will do that sometimes. Okay. Definitely stealth worthy. Okay, that's where I need to go, right? Okay. Boom. Ah, welcome back, bud.
Enough! I've had my fill of... What's
Going
this?
good. You?
What?
Oh.
Who are you?
The Iron Flail Commander is a young man, lean in build. His brown hair is unkempt, his eyes fevered. At his feet is a grate set over what appears to be a pit. You hear a smattering of anxious cries rising from the cell as the commander steps forward. He glares down through the grate, the face of a mask of face a mask of rage.
More of your scheming friends? Not a scrap of honor in the lot of you.
Please calm down. I'm not here to fight.
Just to talk, then? Like stalwart's messengers? I've tired of their lies. I don't need yours adding to them. You want to talk? Set down your...
Edic's words die in his throat, his expression frozen mid-snarl. It isn't clear what's happened, not until you start to feel it too. Unbidden, your senses drift, as if you had reached out toward a source of essence. You feel an ache in your chest. An almost painful sensation of being pulled forward. A sudden wave of memories floods your mind, clear as the day they formed. You see Odema's campsite, ravaged by the bivouac, the halls of Cadnua. Odema? You tread wet cobblestones beneath Copper Lane, seeking the leaden key. You climb winding steps to the top of a tower that parts the clouds. The images wash over you, tracing lives and emotions from 100 different times and places. Not all are your own. And so you become aware of the sensation of being watched. Reach out. You direct your senses, tracing the invasion to its source. Dirk. Convictions burn through him, bright as a brazier. For an instant, you share in his emotions, and a sourceless desperation rattles about your skull. Absent context, the fragments of memory you see are just images. A small house across a field of vibrant purple flowers. A sea of armored kith and flapping banners waiting on your command. There's an uncomfortable moment where you feel your twinned awareness turning in on itself, and then the connection is severed. Derek looks startled, his face ashen. Guess you weren't expecting that.
You're the Watcher at Cadnua? They said he was a senile hermit.
Merwald is dead. That's me. Derek's lips curl in irritation. He shakes his head.
Why have you come? Why now?
I came to find out what happened to the delegates.
All this for them? Infiltrating my fort, skulking through the camp.
I would have done things another way if I could have.
You could have turned around. If not for the delegates, all of this could have been avoided. Stalwart sent delegates to discuss terms of peace. I offered them the opportunity. I was generous. But Stalwart sent soothsayers, not diplomats, to frighten us with stories of the moon going dark, the earth shaking.
It's true. It's all true. The waves will swallow us all. A shrill voice suddenly rises up from the pit. Derek stomps down angrily on the bars, drowning her out. Perhaps you and I can talk now.
You're nothing more than a mercenary for a village of people unwilling to put their own lives on the line.
You don't think you're overreacting a little?
Don't play the fool with me. These omens are meant to frighten me, to make me doubt my purpose here. But there is more at stake here than a village in the mountains. They dismiss my faith, call us superstitious. But what does Stalwart believe in? Iron and gold, and nothing else. I have tilled barren fields with my bare hands. What is gold to me?
What do you want with Stalwart anyway?
With a village of fishermen, nothing. But they cling fiercely to the forge you gave them. Some of the men are here for gold and good steel, and I promised them their share. But I came for cannons. With the battery's cannons, we can hold the pass. Rayed Saris has suffered enough. Its sons and daughters have nothing.
He looks at Eder, jaw working.
We won't survive an attack from the Deerwood when it comes. Not unless we act. There is an army coming. I've seen it. Pouring down from the mountain. It will crush Stalwart and come for Rayed Saris.
Derek's gaze is distant.
The iron flail will be the wall that safeguards my homeland from the worst these fire worshippers can bring to bear.
Well, between the Duke's assassination and the Hollowborn crisis, Deerwood's a little preoccupied.
So I believed. Hoped, maybe. But that only means they're angry. They'll look for someone to blame, an enemy to fight.
But wait, you had a vision of an army?
I warn you, if you think to taunt me, Watcher.
I had a vision too. In mine, I saw Cadnua reduced to rubble by an army that shook the earth. Doubt creases Derek's brow. His men exchange looks, waiting tensely for orders.
Why would they turn on their own? No, you're trying to trick me. This is all another distraction.
If we fight, you die here. What good are you Red Sarens then? Hey, Grouchy Crusader, how's it going? His time zone is different? Yep, his time zone is very different. Yes, how are you doing, Grouchy? Okay, so all that destruction we saw, you really think a bunch of backwater fools can do that? Aw.
Hey, you can call them backwater fools all you want, but don't let them hear you badmouth their destruction.
Eder looks at Eder frowning. I remember thunder and 100 eyes gazing back at me. Any of that sound familiar?
The thunder followed me to the temple at Dawn's Reach, and the earth split beneath our feet.
You think these guys can be allies for the field fight? I'm... Okay. You read my soul. What did it tell you?
That you're soft-hearted, but it hasn't seemed to stop you. And that you have seen and done a great many things. Things I would not have otherwise believed.
We both know something's coming. Maybe two Watchers can figure out how to stop it. For several moments, there is nothing but silence in the cabin. Then you hear this scraping of metal as Adirik takes up his sword, only to lay it flat across his palms.
I led my people here because I believed we were on the right path. I bound my soul to this blade as proof of my surety.
There's a ripple of soul energy in the air. There and gone. Adirik looks pained.
The sword's no good to me now. It's yours, for as long as you can wield it. I'll call in our forces from the mountains. Please, give me time to explain. You should speak with Stalwart's messengers. Perhaps you'll get some answers out of them.
Zircon was granted sever the soul? I'm sorry, what? Okay. Well, let's just go ahead and loot everything we can before we...
This I haven't seen before.
Oh, of course. Just in case. Okay. Oh, thank you. I thought we'd never get out of there. Just let everyone know how happy you are to be alive, and we'll be even. I don't know how you managed to talk that man down. He was practically foaming at the mouth. And now he and his men are still skulking around the mountains. I'm not sure letting him live was the best idea. The commander wasn't the problem. One of the delegates points an accusing finger at another, a woman standing apart from the rest. We might have come to terms if she hadn't goaded him, shouting at him about omens and curses, demanding he leave the march. You know how superstitious the Red Sarens are. The commander went white as a sheet. She sabotaged the meeting. The woman in question is dressed in unassuming robes. She bears the accusation silently, her eyes closed as if in prayer. You put all a stalwart at risk? Why? With a desperate speed, the woman suddenly lunges sidelong towards a nearby rack and seizes a dagger lying there. She sets the blade to her own throat. Oh, this would have been so much easier and simpler if he actually just did that. So, yeah, thank you very much. A little bit gruesome, but thank you. Unseen to all but yourself, the dying woman's soul essence coils in thin wisps about her body. It only grows brighter as her corpse stills. But what just happened? Damn it. Now we'll never get an answer out of her. Don't be so sure. Step aside. You reach out and brace against the sudden flare of pain and fear, digging after less recent events. There's a copper taste in your mouth and a pain-like fire in your throat. Under the brute terror of death, you find a comfortable thread of resolve, of satisfaction, and duty fulfilled. You follow it. It leads you stumbling into another memory as whole and vivid as the first. You walk the dark halls of an abbey, dimly lit and quiet, your footsteps loud, a blur, and you are standing in a dimly lit room. Facing a robed Amawa, you recognize him as Kyoto, the High Abbot. He beckons you forward. You are in a wide, rounded chamber. The tiles beneath your feet are covered in strange curling symbols. You recognize them as symbols of Andra, the goddess of sea and memory. When the memory blurs, when your sight is clear, you are standing in front of Kyoto, and he is smiling gently down at you.
Drive the raid series from these mountains, and you may yet spare many lives. The Tidebringer will be here in a week's time. Should you be delayed in your travels, report to him as you would to me. He will enter the reliquary and call off the army of Ilas in my stead. If you are caught, sister, you know what you must do. I will pray for your return, but we will take comfort in the knowledge that you have joined the rest of Andra's favorite in her keeping.
The words jar you loose from the memory, flinging you back into the moment of the woman's death, and then into your own skin. But traces of her memory join yours. You know the path to the abbey to which she was to return, buried in the mountains to the north. She was a follower of Andra, a fanatic. There was something about her that didn't seem right. Please, you're as surprised as the rest of us. Do you know anything about an abbey to the north? I've heard of something like that. An Andrite stronghold, not the kind of place that welcomes visitors. Is that where she came from? Yes, and it's where I'll find the reliquary so I can call off their army. What? Another one? God, it feels like everyone on Yor is after the battery now. Why would these Andrites want the Red Sarens out? I doubt it's for Stalwart's benefit. Competition, maybe? They're up to something, and I'm going to get to the bottom of it. If you do mean to go to this abbey, be careful. There have been stories about traders wandering north and getting scared off or even killed by strange guards. They're a secretive bunch. I suppose you could always try to sneak in. I doubt you'll be welcome otherwise. It sounds like the Tidebringer would be. It sounds like this Tidebringer would be welcome, I mean. Skulking around isn't really my style, says the guy who skulks around everywhere, even when he's not very stealthy. Well, you'll get your fill of fight, I'm sure. A sudden deafening crash from outside makes the delegate jump startled. A rumbling like thunder follows. You hear further sounds of smashing timbers, panicking, screaming. Gods have mercy. What is it now? If Derek's betrayed me, he'll regret it. Yes, well, we'll wait here, inside. Oh dear, what's going on? Please don't be an avalanche. That would suck. We only skulk for hidden loot. Other than that, it's gun blazing. That's very true. What the balls is that? Wait a minute. Have at thee?
A fort that can't keep those things out. This thing is...
Oh god, immune to blind, charm, confusion, disease, dominate, poison, sick, and unconscious. Okay, well if that's the case. Boom! And boom! Also, boom!
I'm ready.
I suppose you might as well go ahead and pop him an attack, and you go ahead and do one of these. Boom! Oh, there is mine. Back up, buddy. And then go ahead and give everybody one of these.
thing.
Are these the things that fought that combated the dwarves at as the last Megfall falls, a tide of essence sweeps through the ether. It washes over you, and you find yourself in the memories of the eyeless. The hulking creatures surround you, their sinew-wrapped skeletons clanking and screeching in the semi-darkness. Their bodies fill the air with a tang of metal and the musk of sweat. The cavern in which you stand, it looks like a cavern, anyway, glows with a dim, ambient light. Steel flashes at the eyeless shift and stir. They stamp their feet and groan in rasping metallic voices. The restless energy prickles. The restless energy pickles at the back of your neck. Like, you know, like it's like somebody threw a pickle at the back of your neck, then the juice just kind of just. Sorry, just the hairs on the back of my neck just stood up. Their restless energy prickles at the back of your neck. I actually have had that happen to me before. Somebody threw a pickle at the back of my neck and the juice just ran down my back, and it's not, in all honesty, it's not a good feeling. It was not a good feeling. And in the echoing rumble, you hear something familiar. It's the pounding noise from your dream, the harbinger of a terrible army. You begin to wonder how many eyeless are crowded around you. You suspect there must be scores of them, maybe more. It's difficult to tell how far back this chamber goes or where it is. Ahead, you see a glint of light. It might be an exit. Already, however, the vision is starting to fade. Explore further into the chamber. You push past the lumbering eyeless and cling to the witless shreds of the vision. The cavern. Good God. The cavern broadens before you. It swells with echoes until you hear the growling, grinding sounds of the eyeless all around. You pull yourself onto a glowing crystalline outcropping and survey the expanse of blunt heads and piston arms. There aren't scores of them, there are hundreds. The vision ends, returning you to the frozen and blood-churned mud of the ford. Hellboy 2 Golden Army vibes? Absolutely, I'm getting that. Derek appears to have taken some blows. There is a purpling bruise along his temple, and his armor is dented in several places. He looks rather dazed.
Those things, they came from all sides. The delegate... No, you were right. The visions are true. You fought well. And I'm glad to see you've come through in one piece. Not many of my men were so lucky. I'll take what's left of our forces. Those that will follow me further up the mountain. We should be prepared when those monsters return.
We can defeat them if we work together.
I have seen already that there is little you can't accomplish.
Oh.
These abominations stink of a god's cowardice.
But hey, Aloth leveled up. That's actually slightly unfortunate. I think that's Vic. Yep. That's Edward Elric. Good ol' Ed. All right, let's level you up. Boom. You know, I don't really care. I'm just gonna give you a bunch of stealth. I may end up redoing you a bit, but maybe later on. Oh, these are spells. Caster, summon weapon. Black bow. Catabald's black bow. The wizard summons a frightful bow that does corrode damage to enemies and leaves them terrified. Each bolt of energy with the wizard fires bounces to one additional target. Okay, so 8th level wizard spell. Target 69 giggity. 69 to 86 freeze damage. Weakened for 11 seconds. Hobbled for 11 seconds. Linguethan Superior Elemental Bulwark. Caster, 100 points burn damage shield. Freeze, shock, and corrode shield for 42 seconds. Major Grimoire Imprint. Foe target steals 3 spells of level 7 or lower for 84 seconds. Jeffs, thank you for that follow. Host. Oh, I almost said follow. But anyways, thank you for that host, man. How are you doing today? Much, much appreciated. All right, so I mean, I haven't really found I haven't really used the other one, so doing good. Just came off my own pillar string. Oh, awesome. Good on you, man. How are you? How are you enjoying the game? How are you enjoying the game? Piercing sigil. Characters hitting caster. Oh, that's never mind. Wall of many colors. What the? Summons a scintillating wall of varied colors that inflicts varied damage and afflictions on enemies passing through it. Huh. Interesting. Like I never really got far in it though, because I would get distracted by other games. That understandable. That happened to me for a while. And basically a bad acid trip? Yes. That is basically a bad acid trip. Anyways, what's Wilting Wind? AoE 58 to 69 giggity. Raw damage weakened for 16 seconds. Okay. The wizard invokes the sigil of the famed Balian wizard when he or she is struck in melee. I've been using streaming as a means to just get through games that I've always wanted to play. Understandable. Understandable. Okay. Huh. I guess we do this? I have no idea. To be honest, I don't actually really like any of these spells. This one's the acid trip spell seems really interesting, so I'll take that one. I guess we take this. If I remember, I have it. Wall of colors can come in handy with chokeholds, etc. Oh. You know, we'll do this. We'll do all this. And boom. Oh, a level 4 mastery. Yes. I mean, why not, right? Just bring out those bring out those tentacles. Oh, that sounds bad. That sounds a bit wrong. But we'll go with it.
Good.
Congrats, you mastered. Oh dear. Congratulations, you mastered tentacles. Woo. When this become a hentai? Let's go ahead and add you.
I'll take a look.
I will have to say though, Aloth, buddy, you are a bit messed up. Why tentacles of all things? Huh? I think we're done talking about that